Hey y'all, Cece here, Abuela Cece Keto Kitchen, and I'm starving and I want Mexican food, and I thought maybe y'all can cook with me, keep me company. I'm making a keto style chili chicken enchiladas. So basically it's kind of like a chili relleno, but instead of making the chili into a relleno, I'm using it as my outside of my enchilada. So, hi Amanda, hi Paul. I'm alone because my girl's working and I'm starving, and I was like, maybe y'all want to learn a new meal, see another amazing keto meal that's so easy, and yeah, keep me company. So, shall we begin? We're gonna start with the sauce. And I like to use dried chilies in the sauce. So before we start making the chicken, they smell so good in the bag. Do you guys ever buy the chilies, the dried chilies? They smell so yummy. This one is an ancho chili pod. It's a sweeter one. It smells so good. I'm going to use, I've had these for almost a year now. I'm going to use 3 of these. Okay, so they come super dry. Okay, they're dehydrated basically. So we need to rehydrate them. I have boiling water that I put into a cup. Can you guys see the steam? No, can't see it. So you're going to stick those in there so they can get soft. And then I'm also going to use a California chili pod, okay? I get these at Winco. Do you guys have Wincos where you're at? And I'm going to use 3 of those. These ones are a little bit spicier, bring a little bit of a different flavor. So again, just dried chili pods. We're going to put those in the water, and we're going to let it soak and hydrate, okay, while we start with the other chilies. This is what we're going to use for our enchiladas. So I'm making 2 big enchiladas for my partner and I. And this is what you would also use for a chili relleno. But I'm not making a chili relleno. I'm actually just going to do it like if it was an enchilada. I'm going to stuff them like a relleno, but then I'm going to cook them with sauce over the top and then melted cheese. And the only real difference is the relleno, you would dip these after they're stuffed in egg and then batter them. So you'd stuff it, dip it in an egg batter, and then fry them. And I want to bake them. But the first thing you want to do is you want to put them in the oven and put it on broil so you can char the outside so the skin will easily come off. So we want to do that while we're making the stuffing. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to turn my oven on broil on high because you want it to burn. You want it to char. While that's going, I like to use red onion, so I'm going to use a red onion. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. I'm going to take off the notes, and I'll be checking on my phone over here if there's anybody that has questions. I can see your questions here. The thing is, sometimes it's a little delayed, so let's turn this down. As you can see, it's delayed, but it'll allow me to see comments. So if you guys have anything you need to ask, I'm here. So I'm just going to take the red onion. Have you guys eaten dinner tonight yet? Anybody else out there keto or finding these videos fascinating and maybe getting inspired to go keto? So I'm going to put them in the food processor to break up. But you still want to chop them down into smaller pieces so the food processor doesn't turn it into mush, to get it into smaller pieces. Okay, so Small pieces like this, okay? Put them in the food processor. I don't know how anybody cooks from home and doesn't have a food processor. It baffles me. I come across a lot of people who do everything from, you know, just a knife. And I use a knife for a lot of things, but like onions, they make your eyes water. That's not fun. And this is so much faster, especially when you're going to prepare a meal that is a little bit time consuming and has many steps. Like if you can cut corners in any kind of way, like chopping with a food processor, like why wouldn't you? I like this one. This one's by Cuisinart. It's not super expensive. It's like, I think it was a little over 150 bucks. It has all kinds of attachments to do zoodles and ribbons and slices, chopping, all kinds of things. Let's see. Okay, so in the food processor, we have here all right, you guys, hold on. Where's the lid? Okay. And all you're going to do, you don't want to put it where it's just going to chop away really high. You just kind of want to pulse it. So you can watch how big your pieces are. I do want it pretty small chopped, but I don't want it to turn to mush. So about halfway through. Okay. I'm just going to take it off the sides, mix it up a little bit. It's almost there. There's just a few bigger pieces still. I do my salsa like this too. It's so much faster. You don't have to deal with the crying eyes. So pulse it. You guys, look how fast that was. Look at that. That's the perfect consistency, okay? Small little pieces, but it's not mush. So we're going to take that. I'm going to save just a little bit for my sauce. So probably a quarter cup. Gives it a nice sweet flavor to the sauce. And then I'm going to put the rest in the pan because we're going to cook it up with the chicken. That was a pretty big onion, so I probably might even just use half of it. Let's move over that way. There we go. So I like to use a stone pan. It's really good for non-stick. It's an amazing pan. Keeps everything pretty even. I'm putting it on a medium to high heat. And I'm going to use an avocado oil for my oil. And I probably put, I don't know, just enough to coat the pan. Going back to my chilies, I want to make sure the tops are down in there too. So they're starting to get super soft, coming back to life. Okay, so in the pan, let's see if we can get a little closer here. All right. There we go. Zoom back out a little bit. I got 2 chicken breasts. We're going to put the onions in first as soon as this gets warm. So in the meantime, we can chop up the chicken. And I'm going to just use scissors. It's so much faster. And chop it into smaller little pieces. This also means it cooks faster. What are you guys doing this Friday night? It's my friend's birthday today. And I almost forgot. Thank goodness for Facebook sometimes reminding us of our people's birthdays. She's my 80s night dancing friend, so I'm thinking I might go to 80s night tonight. Anybody local gonna go to 80s night tonight? Because it's her birthday, and I'm pretty sure since it lands on a Friday, that's what she's gonna want to do. So I'm just literally like bite-sized chunks, because once it gets cooked down, I'm going to break it up into smaller chunks anyway in the food processor. But right now, this is just for cooking purposes. If you guys don't have a pair of these, it's everything for cooking. I'm all about things that make my life easier and faster when it comes to cooking, because I'm a busy girl. I don't always have a lot of time. All right, it's feeling pretty hot over there. So let's go ahead and add the onions. And it's probably a good cup of onions I have in there. And it's going to cook down. That might not have been hot enough. That's okay. It'll be fine. So if you're just tuning in, please say hello. I'd love to have some cool conversations tonight. Let's talk cooking. Let's talk Mexican food. This is like, I consider this almost like a Mexican-American dish because of the way I'm cooking it. Not everything's going to be from scratch. Like I have some El Pato, spicy tomato sauce. I have my Hernando's green salsa, guacamole salsa. I freaking love that stuff. Oh, it's life. So I do some things that are already pre-made. Again, so busy, don't have time to do everything from scratch. But I definitely prefer to make my meals than buy them frozen. Though I have gotten a few frozen stuff lately that are decently good and are for my convenience food. Because let's face it, we don't always have time to cook every night. And we always need some kind of convenience food, right? Alright, hear the sizzle, we're doing good. Washing the hands. Alright. Turn on the light so we can see. You guys see that? There we go. Alright, so we have the onions cooking here. How many of you guys have made homemade enchiladas before? This will be my first time doing it with chilies and not using tortillas. But I really wanted to make this lower carb. I didn't want to make, I wasn't in the mood to make my keto tortillas. And I wanted to, I really love Chile Reno, so I thought I'd try something new here. Alright, so the onions are cooking. We're going to add the chicken. Let that cook right into the onions. We're also going to add some sliced. I'm filming myself tonight, you guys. It's so much harder to do this yourself, but that's okay. That's okay. You guys love me anyway, right? You love me even if I don't have like a filming crew. One of these days, you guys, one of these days, I'm really hoping in the next 2 years, we're going to do our kitchen remodel. And I'm actually moving the kitchen into the dining room. And where we are right now, this is where the dining room will go. And if I'm going to, you know, start from scratch, right? I'm going to have an island, really bright light shining down onto the island, and a TV monitor for me to see, and the camera that comes right down and goes right down on the working station area. So So we'll have one that comes straight down so you can see the food here, and then one that comes at an angle so I can talk to you guys at the same time. I think it would be super fun. I love to cook, I love to share, and it'd just be really awesome to have a chef's kitchen that allows me to do these videos, doing a lot of it on my own and not needing like a crew of different cameras. I'm not trying to do this live cooking thing to be a professional chef that does keto food. I do it to show you that an everyday person can connect with you, show you some recipes, and you don't have to be like this superstar chef with a big old cooking show to show you how easy these things are. But to have something a little bit more convenient for filming would be awesome. So I'm cutting these are tamed pickled jalapenos. I just cannot handle the heat of regular jalapenos, but I love the flavor of jalapenos. So for me, I just do the pickled, more tamed ones, and I still get that nice jalapeno flavor. And I did about, it looks like about a quarter cup of jalapenos. Put them right in with the chicken. And then I'm also going to put in here some olives. And we don't have sliced olives, so unfortunately I'm going to have to slice them myself. What's really weird is the thumb that I got in the accident with and chopped like a quarter of my thumb, or it was like hanging. You guys saw the videos, right? Or the photos. The photos that got marked as indecent on Facebook. Well, it's all healed on the outside. I mean, you barely can even tell that half of that thumb was like hanging off. But on the inside, it's still healing. So when I do stuff like this, I can barely even feel my thumb. It's still a little numb, which is scary. So I have to really pay attention when I'm chopping that I don't actually get the same freaking thumb that I already did. I mean, I got lucky that I didn't chop the thumb all the way off. This was an accident trimming my bushes outside, those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. Not from cutting my food. Knock on wood, I haven't come close to doing that with food yet. I mean, I've sliced a little bit of my finger, I've sliced part of my nail off because the nails get long and get in the way, but nothing like crazy of actually slicing a part of my finger off like I did my thumb. It was crazy. Alright, we're going to check those chilies that are in the oven and turn them. See how they're doing. Oh yeah, they're doing great, you guys. Look at this. See how they're nice and crispy? So we're going to flip them and let it do it to the other side. We're going to stir our meat. And I'm doing approximately 1/8 of a cup of olives as well, while this chicken is cooking. So this is the stuffing. This is the part that's going to go inside the chili. So truth be told, I did make chili rellenos when I first started keto. It was a lot of work, and my batter was like falling off while I was cooking, and I just can't go through that again. But I love all the flavors of a good chili relleno. So the only difference of doing it this way and making it more like an enchilada is I'm not going to have the battered outside, and I'm okay with that. The flavors are still gonna be there. All right, chicken is cooking through. I will repost this video later if you can't stay to the end to see how it looks. And I will have also what it looks like at the end. I'll take a picture and post it to the video comments. All right, so let's go back to our sauce while that chicken is cooking. Actually going to put the sauce in a different container. So I'm done with the food processor. And I'm going to do the Vitamix instead. So that's this guy right here. This is actually like the generic version of the Vitamix that does exactly the same thing. It's called a Blend Tech. So I'm just going to open that up. The chilies, you guys see this? All right, so they're nice and soft. They're hydrated, pliable. See how fluffy they are? What we're going to do is we're going to remove the seeds by taking off the stem. Okay, you guys see this? There we go. We took off the stem. We're going to open it up. See all those seeds inside? See all that? We want to remove all the seeds. And it's easier to do it under a faucet and just like wash them off. So I'm going to go do that real quick, show you. Alright, so seeds removed, put them in the blender. Remember we have 3 of these. I'm going to open it up. This one doesn't even have as many seeds. Oh, maybe they're all at the bottom. All right. Wash that one. Put that in the blender. Here we got the other chili pods, the California chili pods. So you notice they're redder in color. Can you guys see that? These are the ones that are a little bit more spicy, and they definitely have less seeds, and they slide right off, so I can clean this one right here. Hear that the chicken's frying up pretty good. These chilies make all the difference, you guys, in the sauce, because it's such great flavor. I'm going to stir up the chicken real quick. Looking good. Still in its little chunks. I can still see some pink. Want that chicken to really cook through and through. Have it on medium high. Oh, there's all the seeds at the top. Just open it up. Yeah, see that? See all the softness inside the chili? That's going to give it all the flavor. All of that. It's going to be so good. Alright, got another chili. So we have 3 of the California chilies and 3 of the ancho chilies. And the juice, the water that this soaked in, we're actually going to drain it from the seeds, and we're going to use some of the juice from the chili soaking in our sauce. This one's already drained itself of all the seeds. All right, so now we're just left with seeds and toppers. And I'm just using this mesh. I'm going to put it right on top of the blender. I'm going to pour some of that liquid in there. Alright, we're going to put the salsa chile fresco, basically spicy tomato sauce by El Taco. Put that in there. I'm going to put some garlic powder. And of course, I'm going to do my Latin table spice. It's one that I make up for my Latin foods. And then I'm just going to add just a little bit more of the Belize spice and a little bit, because I want it really smoky, a little bit more of the smoked paprika, so probably like a teaspoon. And then we're going to blend it. And I use the sauces and dressings one. It's a little bit thick, so we're going to add a little bit more juice. Okay, and I'm also going to add some beef bouillon to give it a really nice beefy, saucy flavor. And I'm just using the beef bouillon right here. That's going to give it a nice, rich flavor. Throw that in there. Throw the lid back on. Hit the sauces one again. I'm going to turn it off. Alright, the consistency is right about where I want it. I'm going to add that half a cup of the chopped red onions. I'm going to put that in there. Start again. Show you the consistency. Let's take a little taste. Look how nice and rich and dark that. Ooh, it's spicy. Ooh la la. Okay, so I do want a little bit of more sweetness. So I'm going to add, this is monk fruit. And I'm going to add about a tablespoon of monk fruit just to sweeten it up a little bit. Alright, what else was I going to add to this? This is just green chilies from a can. This is like 3 tablespoons. Gonna add that to it. Alright. Oh, and I wanted to add a little bit of vegetable broth. I'm sorry, beef broth. Okay, some nice beef broth to it as well. About a half a cup. should do it. Again, everybody's sauce is different. Every time I make a sauce, it's a little different. It's all based on my mood, but the bases are still the same. Taste it. That's much better. Sometimes I'll add a chipotle chili, but instead I did the spicy salsa. That's actually pretty darn perfect. It's exactly what I want. You see how nice and rich the sauce is? Of course, you can see the consistency. You can use this for huevos rancheros as well. You can use the sauce for so many things. I'm not going to need all this sauce, so I make a big batch and then I freeze it in single servings. So this made, how much is this? 700 mLs or 3 cups of sauce. We're probably only going to use 1 cup of sauce. Okay, so we're done with the blender. Now, our chilies are nice and toasted, okay? What we want to do now is we want to sweat them. So we're taking a Ziploc bag, we're putting our chilies in the bag, and then we're going to Ziploc it. And what it's going to do, it's going to steam the skin to come right off the chilies, because you don't want the skin, okay? And it's going to sweat it in there because of all the heat. So we're going to let that do its thing. And not pick up the glass. While it's still hot, move that. Alright, so now we're back to the chicken. And we're back to the food processor. Clean up our work area. Take this chicken off the burner. Alright, you guys. So now I want to get rid of the rest of these onions. So I still had a whole lot of onion enough. That was a really big onion. But now it's chopped up for salsa, so to make a fresh salsa. So I would add to this onion, I would chop up some fresh garlic, some jalapenos, what are those red chilies? I always forget what they're called. Some red chilies, green bell pepper, some tomatoes, and avocado, and make a fresh salsa. And again, my salsa varies as well depending on my mood. Okay. So now, that chicken that we just cooked up in avocado oil, you can see it's still in its pretty big chunks, avocado oil, jalapenos, and olives. We're going to put it in the food processor because we're going to cut it down so it's more shredded, so it stuffs better. If I wanted to make like a chili Colorado, but with chicken, I could use that sauce and then let it cook in the oven with the sauce. You need that maybe with some eggs, some cheese. All right. You guys following this so far? Put the lid back on. And we're going to pulsate this as well. check it. You don't want it too small. We'll say it a couple more times. You guys, look how perfect. Look how perfect that is. Perfect size for stuffing anything. And it smells amazing. So we're going to put that back in the pan. We're going to turn our fire down to a medium low. Because we still haven't added any seasoning to this chicken. All right. You guys see that? Zoom you guys in a little bit. Okay. So that same Latin spice that we used before, what I have left of it, we're going to add that. Add more Belize spice. We're going to add some cream cheese. And I'm using approximately a 1/4 cup of cream cheese. And I'm going to use that guacamole salsa. This is again for the stuffing of the chicken. We're going to use a 1/2 cup. Okay? Pour that in there. And this smells so good, you guys. I wish you guys could smell this. So yummy. I may add more cream cheese. I don't know yet. Those were pretty big breasts. No, I think it'll be fine. You don't want it to get too salty. Okay. Still cooking it down. Breaking down that cheese. In the meantime, while this is cooking down, oh, it tastes so good. Going back to our bag of chilies, okay? So we're going to open this up. They're going to be hot still, so you want to get a little plate. Zoom out a little bit. Take the first chili out. And see, look, do you see how the skin just comes right off? Take off that skin. Be careful not to burn yourself. Oh, it smells so good. The end stem will come right off. Be very careful because it's delicate, and if you handle it too much, it'll break apart, and then you won't have it to stuff. And what you have left is the meaty part and not the skin that's like paper. Okay, I'm going to slice it right down the middle with my finger because that's how cooked and ready it is. Make sure all the skin's off. Going to fillet it open, being very careful. because we don't want to keep the seeds. We want to clean it out of all the seeds. There we go. You guys see that? Flay it open. Let's stir our chicken. Yeah, that half a cup of cream cheese was just enough. It smells so divine. Just really mixing up that cream cheese in there. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my fire. Okay. So I'm just taking spatula and softly removing the seeds. Again, it's very delicate right now, so you want to be very careful. Just softly scraping out the seeds. This is going to be so good, you guys. Oh my God. It's really, being keto, it's really hard for me to be able to go out to a Mexican restaurant and get things that I love to eat in a keto version. It's just, it's just not options right now. And to be able to have all the same flavors and the same feelings when you eat the food, but it be made a little bit different, is everything. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I can stay on this new way of eating and not get bored and not feel like I'm limited, because I still try to eat all of the things that I always have. Alright, so now what we're going to do with this one, it's nice and open. I'm going to get my dish. I'm going to add some sauce to the bottom, starting with 1/4 cup. And I'm just going to layer the bottom with some sauce. So far 2 cups, or a half a cup of sauce. It's not really hot anymore. And I'm just going to move it all around to really coat it. And then I'm going to take that same scooper and I'm going to do 1/4 cup of the chicken. A little bit more, maybe a 1/4 cup and a half. Now I think it can handle a whole half a cup. Look at that. You really want to, it's a big chili. And then you take the top and fold it over the top. And then take your Reno, or in this case, enchilada, put it right on top of the sauce. And then start your next chili. So it's still been steaming in the bag, so the skin will come right off. Again, still being delicate because it's still super hot, super sensitive. The skin's coming off really nicely on this one because it's been sitting in there for a little bit. You guys see how easy this process has been so far? It's time consuming. Time consuming doesn't mean difficult, it just means there's a few different steps. Hi, baby.
Hi.
I'm making, remember when I attempted to make Chile Renos? And it was really hard to keep the batter on and all the things.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm doing is basically a Chile Reno enchilada style.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's just about done. I just have to put it in the oven to melt the cheese on top.
Okay. Have you fed the pets?
I fed the huskies. not the other ones. Alright, so I'm just about done getting all the skin off. Taking off the stem. Open it up down the middle. And got all those seeds. So if you're just joining us, we are de-skinning our chile that we roasted in the oven to char the skin. And then after the skin was charred, we put it in a Ziploc so the skin will pull apart from the rest of the chili. Now we're de-skinning and de-seeding our chili. And then we're stuffing our chili with our chicken mixture that we just did. There we go. Just checking the other side for any skin that's left, any seeds. Okay, de-skinned, de-seeded. Now we're going to take our chicken, and it's a half cup of chicken because these are really big chilies, and flop over the top just like that. And then stick it into our sauced bottom part of our pan. And now we're going to top it with more sauce. See that? So lots of sauce. And then to finish, we are going to use just some shredded cheddar cheese. I like cheddar because it has a super strong flavor, especially for this type of dish. And I'm pretty generous with the cheese because I'm keto and I don't care. This is the best part of keto, you guys, is that you can do heavy on the avocado and on the cheese and not worry about all the fat. And then you're just going to stick that back in the oven. I still have it on high broil because everything inside the chili, including the chili, is cooked. We are literally just melting the cheese onto our enchilada. Put that in there. And that's it, you guys. It's that simple. 10 minutes tops, if that. I'll probably check it here in 5 in the oven. I like my enchiladas to have a nice, like a little bit crispy cheese on top. Top it with all your favorite things. You could even top it with some more olives. I like avocado and sour cream and some hot sauce. But the sauce is pretty spicy, and it's mostly from the hot spicy tomato sauce. So that's it. Simple as that. However long this video is how long it took from start to finish. I didn't do any steps ahead of the time. And then 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes cooking, about 3 minutes for it to settle, and then serve. So That is my version of a quick and easy Mexi-American style keto Chile Reno / enchilada. Thanks for watching, you guys, and have a beautiful Friday. Cheers.